Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This video will be about converting or building a PRS style rifle in the AR-10 gas gun platform. This isn't the end all and be all. I'm nowhere near an expert. This is just what I've kind of come up with in my research and my time. I originally built this 6.5 Creedmoor just to have one, just to shoot. There was no specific purpose in mind and no intended usage per se other than just plinking. Then I learned about the tactical game Sniper Challenge, and I kind of geared this more towards that competition, and they ultimately scrapped that competition. And then I learned about the Mammoth Sniper Challenge. I've been talking about it for a couple of months. I've been kind of gearing up and training for that competition, and that competition is one in of itself because you have to carry all your gear. And you have to carry all your shooting gear, all your supplemental shooting gear, your ammunition, your food, your backpacking gear, everything that you possibly need, you have to carry. So weight is at a premium. I really do not feel like stepping off on Friday morning with 70 pounds on my back. It's just not something I want to do. So one of the areas where I was able to shave some weight is the rifle, but I don't want to go too light that it makes it impossible to shoot. The recoil is just too much. So this is my 6.5 Creedmoor in its present configuration, and it weighs right at 16 pounds, and that's without a suppressor. So in my opinion, it's too heavy for this application, and I wanted to drop some weight. So I was doing a lot of research, and I realized that the two areas where I can drop a lot of weight without sacrificing too much is the barrel and the stock. This barrel is a 22-inch 6.5 Creedmoor Ballistic Advantage barrel. It weighs 75 ounces. And this stock is the Magpul PRS stock. It weighs 28 ounces. So swapping these out for some lighter options will save me, I'm thinking close to 2.5 pounds. Another thing, I got this Arca rail. I've got these barrier blocks. I don't think I'm gonna use those moving forward. I wanted something a little bit slimmer in the hand guard, and then I needed a new scope mount. So these are just some scope rings. A couple people pointed out to me in the comment section of previous videos about these not being a 20 MOA offset to help shoot out the distance. I only took this out to 800 yards before I lost interest because I knew I was going to be tearing it down, and I really honestly just couldn't see very well. So I just wanted to show you in its present configuration. I'm going to take it into my office / workshop, and I'm going to tear it down, rebuild it back up, and then come back out here and show you what I came up with and how much it actually weighs. By the power of editing, here we are. So this is the rifle in its final-ish configuration, and I say final-ish because there are still a couple of minor things that I'm going to change, but nothing major. Things that I might add a bubble level to make sure that I am shooting on a level plane. And then I do want to swap out the safety. I'm not a fan of 90-degree safeties. I like 45-degree safeties. And then I also want a bolt release that has a little bit more real estate. Both of those will probably come from Forward Control Designs. Big fan of that company. But overall, this rifle, I was able to drop 3.5 pounds. So I took a luggage scale, a suitcase scale, and wrapped it around right here, and it came out at 12.5 pounds. So I dropped 3.5 pounds off of the previous configuration. Could not be happier with that result. We'll just have to see how it shoots. We'll go from the back to the front. The biggest change happened in the front. Moderate change happened in the back. We went from a Magpul PRS stock to just a Magpul SL. This will still work in a bag. I'm not going to use this bag. That bag's like 7 pounds. I'm going to get a different bag that with the grit light fill weighs 1.2 pounds, but still works in the bag, so I'm okay with that. Moving up, I changed the upper and the hand guard to an M5 E1 and an R1 rail. Saved a little bit of weight, a little bit thinner than the enhanced from Aero Precision. Changed the grip from an Ergo vertical grip to this DFCO, Die Free Company. It's polymer. It's got great stippling for a good grip. It's not as straight up and down as vertical as the Ergo grip, but it's still 10 degrees or less. I can't remember the exact offset it is, the exact angle it is. Another change happened on top. We've got the Vortex Precision 30 millimeter 20 MOA offset scope mount. It is not the QD version. I heard that a QD version is QD scope mount is not ideal because this rifle from here to here roughly will be sitting in the pack while I'm rucking. It'll be vertical across the top. So having a QD mount, it has the potential to loosen and then you lose your zero, and that is the last thing you want at a precision rifle competition. I added the Vortex throw lever because it just makes it easier to go up and down in magnification. Gripping this, it's less than ideal for what I'm going to be doing. I could still take off the sunshade if I want to save a few extra ounces, but for right now I'm just going to leave that as is. Like I said, the handguard is the R1. We have an Arca rail from Area 419 on the bottom. Excuse me. And the reason I went with the full length one is I can slide the bipod back and forth, but then I can also have a tripod here. I'm going to get a tripod with an Area 419 Arca mount to have from a standing or a kneeling or whatever, wherever I can use it shooting position. So I wanted that to be as far back as possible on the handguard to help even out the weight and put less stress on the ball head. Still have the Atlas bipod. Really, really great stuff. If you saw my comparison video between the Atlas bipod and the Magpul bipod, really no different. The main weight loss came from the barrel, and I just want to say that I did not buy this barrel, but it was not sent to me by a company either. My brother-in-law, I was talking to him about this competition. He said he had a Proof Research 6.5 Creedmoor barrel. He didn't know the exact length, but it wound up being a 24-inch barrel, and he said he would send it to me so that I can use it for the competition. So while it's free right now, I do either have to give it back to him at the end of the competition or I will just buy it from him. But for right now, I did not have to pay for it. It is on a loaner. It is a huge, huge expense. These barrels retail close to $1,000. So, but right there, it saved me 25 ounces. It went from 75 ounces to 50 ounces while gaining 2 inches of length. I'm hoping that with a 140 grain projectile, I'm able to get into that 2600 to 2650 per second speed with the projectile, because that will give me great speed, ballistics, and it won't be too fast that it messes up my follow-up shots with the recoil. And then up at the front is the Area 419 Hellfire match muzzle brake. Making a separate video about that. I really like the engineering. These go out 90 degrees, and then this one is like a 45 degree backwards, so it'll help with some of the recoil. So overall, I could not be happier with the way that this set up in its final configuration. And I'm going to be using these Lancer L7 magazines. This is a 10 round magazine, 7.62 by 5.1, and this 10 round magazine is actually 5 grams lighter than a 20 round Magpul magazine, and I'm going to have 2 of these, and I doubt we would shoot more than 20 rounds in a stage for long range, and these are supposedly the best magazines that money can buy for the AR-10 platform. So I'm going to do a separate video on this, comparing this to the Magpul, and another one that I have, I think a Duramag, which those were just trash, but I'm going to throw it in there anyway, just for comparison's sake. So happy with this overall. I dropped 3.5 pounds from my overall weight. We just have to wait to see how it shoots. So part 2, I'll take this out to the range. I'll get the optic all squared away. It's not level, it's not zeroed. I think I need to bring it back a little bit for the eye relief, so I either need to slide it back or move the mount back one on the pick rail and just get a proper eye relief, but could not be happier. I also signed up for a PRS match at the range out in Immokalee. That's going to be on February 18th. That'll be a great starting point for PRS competition leading up to Mammoth. So stay tuned for part 2. That'll be coming up soon. Hope you enjoyed this one. Like and subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section below. We will see you in the next video.